everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
where we, a couple of goofball atheists, just try to make sense of politics, religion, whatever we got here in these United States of America.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, the IRS dropped a bombshell on American democracy this week.
The IRS effectively changed nothing, and it might change everything.
Yeah. And so we're going to get into that, some of the implications, some of the possible outcomes
That nobody's talking about.
That nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
With regards
including
to
the possibility that you might not have to pay taxes anymore. So make sure you listen. That's not true.
So we'll be getting to that. But first, there are some other things that happened this week that we should talk about. That's what we do. Talking a little news.
Yeah.
Including, Dan, the internet has gone absolutely crazy for these little Labubu dolls. The world has gone crazy, not just the internet. People fucking love these things, right? This is all, I guess they went viral earlier this year after some big time celebrities were spotted with these little, they're cute. They're like these little angry, little fluffy bear looking things, kitten bear things.
Like teeth. They look like a little demon, maybe a cute little demon.
Well, Dan, you kind of maybe stepped on it a little bit there.
Oh my.
Because that's what people are accusing them of being.
No.
That they are possessed by the demon Pazuzu, Dan, which I think somebody was just like Labubu, Lazuzu, or what was it? Labubu, Pazuzu.
Yeah.
They just heard the two and they were like, that's what's going on here.
Obviously.
And so this is the latest, I guess, Satanic Panic in America.
You got to get people upset about something.
Yeah. So these celebrities like Rihanna and Dua Lipa, that's what they were promoting. Satan
dolls.
Pazuzuism. Are you familiar with Pazuzu, Dan?
Do you know who accepted Pazuzu as your Lord and Savior? No, what is a Pazuzu?
A Pazuzu is a demon from ancient Mesopotamia mythology, right?
Okay.
And you all know Mesopotamia, right?
Yeah. Modern day Iraq, mostly.
Yeah, Dan, look at you. With your geography. That's excellent. Pazuzu was the king of the wind demons.
Ooh.
And was associated with storms and drought.
Okay.
Which of course,
did you know?
Could you imagine, Dan? You were the king of wind, right?
Yeah.
And you sort of run storms and were responsible for droughts and all this kind of stuff. That's what you used to do. Now you're clipped onto ladies' handbags and are considered cute.
I don't think. Here's the thing. I doubt that they would have used the people who originally conceptualized this, if indeed it was an ancient Mesopotamian deity. I don't think they would have thought of it as a demon. I'm guessing that's added on.
How dare you, Dan?
But
you don't know. You're just making this up, Dan.
No. I have good reason to believe this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But did you know that Yahweh was also a storm deity?
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Originally,
you can almost hear it's a onomatopoeia. What is it when things are? Anyway, no. So actually, apparently, the ancient Mesopotamian people believed that Pazuzu helped humans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually ward off other demons.
So
they're using I think the word demon here is being used to describe a spirit, an energy.
It's a deity,
an entity,
a divine. Yes,
some are a little malevolent. Some of them are benevolent, whatever. But they're kind of using this demon word as a catch-all.
Yeah.
But they apparently they would put Pazuzu's face on necklaces for protection.
Cute.
So like this whole hullabaloo, actually, like you have your little charm on your handbag.
Yeah.
Right. Like if Pazuzu is in Labubu, then it's a good thing.
I
right?
feel
you
like
are protected,
I feel
but
like
people are burning them on camera.
Oh
right?
my God.
They're like,
course.
Let's see, holy water. Somebody got some holy water trying to purge their Labubu of Pazuzu. And
just let him protect you from the weather. What's your problem, man?
And other people online have pointed out that the demon theory explains why they shot to popularity so ridiculously fast.
Of course.
Couldn't possibly be social media and the power of social media. And, you know,
do you think that there's a competing purse ornament that has hired some Christian influencers to take Pazuzu down or Labubu down a peg?
I suppose it's possible.
That's the new reality. That is
good
our
people
new reality.
Over at the those little trolls. Remember the little troll clip-on things from our childhood?
Cabbage Patch dolls are fixing to make a comeback, and they got to take Labubu down.
So anyway, that happened. This is happening.
These are exciting times indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
Man, everybody's dumb. All right. Well, I'm going to take us to Texas. You and I have been to Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
Home of Baylor University, which is one of the largest Baptist. I think it is the world's largest Baptist universities.
Oh.
And good for them, I guess. Here's the thing. They recently were granted a grant, an award of $643,000, or to be even more precise, how do you come to this number? $643,401. Really? What's the one? What was the round up, round down, do something. Anyway, they were awarded this grant to fund research on, quote, the exclusion of LGBTQIA plus individuals and women within congregations.
Okay.
It was a study grant. They were there to study this.
All right.
And obviously, if it's Baylor University, that study's going to go however it's going to go. But what it's not going to do is be like, oh, we need to just accept gay people all together and fully enfranchise women.
Okay.
Anyway, that would be my theory. My theory won't matter, though, because after they announced that they had received this grant, an uproar went up and they turned it down. They had applied for this grant, and then they went, oh, you know what? Never mind. This is more trouble than it's worth.
Oh no!
And they politely declined the money.
They didn't want to take the money and then spin it the way they wanted to,
right? They just got in so much trouble. Like people on social media got a hold of it and started hammering them about the woke mob has gotten to it. Here's one of the Reverend Matt Kennedy, who's an Anglican priest. Why is an Anglican priest even weighing in on a Baptist university? But he said, it's much better to send your child to a secular university hostile to faith than to a Christian, in quotation, in scare quotes, Christian university like Baylor. What are you doing? Honestly.
I don't really get that point.
Right? What are you saying? It's because because your kids are going to think that they're getting a good Christian education. And really, someone's going to mention that gay people exist to them.
It's an interesting acknowledgement that they recognize that these Christian schools, religious schools, don't really teach critical thinking.
Right.
Like if you're in an environment where your view isn't the only accepted view, right? The only correct view. If you're in sort of out there in the secular world, mixing and mingling with other ideas, you're going to have to learn a little bit of critical thinking. You're going to have to learn, right, to like discern what like ideas you might agree with and disagree with, and how to like navigate those and whatnot. But in the safe confines of an all Christian school,
you'll just like blindly accept everything.
Believe anything, yeah. Because that's what this whole environment's just about, believing anything.
Yeah, just accept what you're told.
So you get some crazy study.
You'll and you don't know where I give you, and you'll like it. Yeah.
Imagine if they'd found that like gay people weren't being treated well by these congregations.
Shocking.
Like, thanks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and women. What if they had to enfranchise women? Women aren't even committing a sin, a quote unquote sin.
That'll never happen, Dan.
I know.
It'll never happen.
It's just so fun. Like the way that they hold on to these markers of their own, like we are holding true to the true church or whatever, not acknowledging the hundreds and the literally thousands of years of changes that have happened. But like, boy, they're going to hold on. They got those 3 scriptures that they know, that they're pretty sure they know what it means, and they're going to hold on to it for dear life.
Yeah. Honest to God, all of these churches will come around on the gay issue before they come around on women.
Well, what the problem is that they'll come around like, in the wrong ways. They'll keep doing it wrong. So there are women Baptist preachers, and then they'll raise a fuss. Their place, right? It's just so dumb. Oh Lord.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm very glad to be done with religion. Can I just say that?
Good for you.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Well, guess what? We have some more stories about religion, Dan.
Oh, so good. That is kind of one of the focuses of the show, I suppose.
Oh golly. Well, we were just talking about gay people, so I'm just going to transition over to the Catholic Church.
Meaning the Catholic Church is gay people?
Well, no, and an opinion that they have about gay people, where there's been some question over the Catholic Church as to how Pope Leo, this new pope of ours, of theirs, why would I claim it?
Look, there's only one pope, and we all get him.
We all get the pope,
whether we like him or not. He's the pope.
It's an ecumenical church.
Yeah,
they like to believe
the Holy Catholic Church,
the universal church.
That's what Catholic means.
Yeah. So anyway, there's been some question because Pope Francis had started allowing gay unions, gay couples, to receive sort of blessings, right? Which is, whatever. It's a step, and it's a step. I don't really care about their little steps.
No,
right? Like they don't affect me. I don't know why gay people
do, in the sense that like even a tiny little step by an enormous organization, moves the needle.
It does. And there were
societally,
there were some stories that I saw after Pope Francis had passed away, from gay Catholics talking about how his stance, even though it's not like full acceptance, had actually, like you say, shifted the needle for their family.
Yeah.
Right. That they had found that they had an easier time finding acceptance within their family because the Pope was just being nicer. Right.
As much as I hate it because it's so stupid and minuscule. Yeah. It can actually have a huge effect.
It does have an effect. Even though it's so gross that they're like just being like, oh yeah, we'll come in and bless you, but this is by no means is this us condoning what you're doing, right? When
you're still obviously a gross sinner. You're still very disgusting to me, but I honor your personhood.
So anyway, there's been some question. What is Pope Leo going to do with regards to this? Because, there hasn't been a lot of Pope Leo news, I feel like, right? Like when Pope Francis came in, I feel like it was all you and I could talk about for months on the show.
It did feel like he came in a whirlwind, but that was because he came in after Pope Benedict, and like that contrast was stark.
It was stark, and there is not the same kind of contrast.
So
much that while this is not directly from the Pope's mouth, Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, who is extremely close to the Pope because he is, I don't know, he's some sort of high dignitary at the Vatican. He had this to say when an Italian newspaper asked him. He said that the blessings of couples in same-sex relationships will remain under Pope Leo XIV. He's the head of the Vatican's doctrine office. So so he's got close contact with the Pope. He knows what the Pope's thinking. Fernandez, when asked if Leo would backtrack at all, said, "I really don't think so. The declaration will remain."
Okay.
Which is pretty a clear statement. Prior to this, there had only been people kind of higher ups in the church, cardinals, who kind of had speculated to the media that Leo probably would not make a major change, that he would maybe reinterpret it somehow without like a full abolishment. They just don't see him as that type of character. This is from a cardinal or an archbishop, the Archbishop of Luxembourg, actually, Jean-Claude Hollerich, who said, Pope Leo has said that the church is open to all. This is a continuation of the approach of Francis, who used to repeat everyone, everyone, everyone. So it's a good thing. We didn't know what Pope Leo was going to bring. And this is obviously an issue that I care about.
Yeah. I'm going to minorly quibble. I don't know that it's a good thing. It's just not a bad thing.
That is a quibble, Dan.
I feel like it's a neutral thing. It has not gone bad. I don't know that anything good has happened.
Okay.
There are no there was steps.
There was nothing. You were correct. There was nothing new here, but there was some news.
Yeah, indeed.
And some I think some hope, right, is being given to people.
Yeah, I mean, we're right now
Catholics and Catholic families that have gay people in them. Like, they're concerned about this.
This ripples through all of society. This doesn't just affect Catholicism. Catholicism is so huge that, like, moving the needle in Catholicism moves the needle in society at large.
Yeah, that's probably true. The great Satan does have some influence in the world.
It's true. I'm going to take us to California, where where exists the Grace Community Church, a mega church led by a pastor named John MacArthur, who I'm sure is just lovely. Here's one of the fun things that they do. Apparently, this is about a lawsuit. They are being sued currently in Los Angeles County Superior Court by one Lorraine Zelinsky, who was a member of the church and went to some pastors or whatever, some people at the church, for help with her marriage, which she was really struggling with. She, according to the lawsuit, she told them that her husband had been physically abusive to her and her daughter, and she was worried about their safety. And so she went to the church. She went to the church to say,
Good.
hey,
that's the right place to go.
Maybe a little help here. Well, I mean, look.
She's concerned for her safety. You go to the police.
Well,
right?
you go, when you want your marriage to work and you've been told that, these people have divinely inspired advice for you, you go and you try and get that divinely, help me. You know what I mean? Help me get this thing safe and whatever. And so, they didn't have any help for that, obviously, because they don't know anything. And when she went to them and said, I want to separate from my husband, they, of course, told her, no, don't, and advised her not to, and actually pressured her not to do that.
Right.
So she eventually, as she needed to, got divorced from them too. She basically was like, okay, well, fuck all y'all. I resign as a church member. And their response to that resignation was to say, nope, you are being disciplined. And in our church, if you're being disciplined, you don't get to resign, which no. I get to resign if I want to.
Yeah,
this is America where we have freedom of association. Anyway, the threat that they used to keep her there, at very least until her disciplinary action was taken care of, was, we'll just spill your shit to the whole congregation if you leave.
We're going to tell everybody your secrets?
Yeah, we're just going to tell all your business to the whole congregation. And she was like, no, I'm not going to submit myself to your disciplinary actions. And so they did. They fucking spilled the tea. They spread the hot goss to the entire fucking congregation.
No, like, oh no. Like put it in the newsletter?
No, over the pulpit.
Shut up.
Yeah. Talked about her. Which, by the way, if you are ever a member of any organization and anyone in that organization starts shaming anyone else in that organization to the whole organization or publicly at all,
no,
leave that organization. Away with them. Even if it's not about you. Who cares? Off you go.
That is a stink wild.
About it. Yeah. So she's suing. But I don't know that she has anything to sue over, because if that church doesn't have a promise of like confidentiality, which I don't know that they do. You assume that they do because that's what priests do, right? And that's what there should be an ecumenical, like to the point where priests fight having to turn in like horrible criminals because of the confidentiality.
Oh, if one of the other pastors had abused a 14-year-old, they would never think in a million years to shame that person.
Right.
Like,
right. But this is a woman we're talking about.
A divorcee.
Right? A woman who wants to divorce a man for no better reason than he beats her and her daughter. What? How dare you?
He's doing his good Christian duty.
Yeah.
Beating her. Right? Isn't that a thing?
I mean,
spare the rod, spoil
the wife.
The wife. I mean, their attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the head of the household. She should just look. It's sad that she got a bad head of the household, but that's who she's got.
Luck of the draw.
God joined them. Let no man bring them asunder. Anyway, I don't know how that lawsuit's going to go, but that's what's out there in the world.
That's rough. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. All right. Well, Dan, over in France, we got the story of an archbishop by the name of Guy André Marie de Caramel. The archbishop of Toulouse.
Okay.
All right. He made a recent appointment to a high position in the archdiocese, basically like his right hand man type, chief advisor type position.
Sure.
One Mr. Father Dominique Spina. He's now the chancellor and episcopal delegate for marriages in the archdiocese.
Oh, okay.
Well, a little bit of a problem here, and this is why it's a story. Back in 2006, Spina was convicted of the 1993 rape of a 16-year-old boy, and was sentenced to 5 years in prison, of which he served 4. After which he was released. Yeah, this is when he was assigned by the Diocese of Toulouse to a local parish, where he was in charge of the children's ministry.
Oh my God! Yes, the public only learned of this because it came out in a French news site called Mediapart. This came out in 2016, and at this point, the then Archbishop Robert Legal removed Spina from ministry, saying that Father Spina understands that exercising his duties as a parish priest is impossible in the current context. Current context being that he's a child rapist? That's a current context. That's a hell of a context.
Yeah. And that's not the problem. The problem is the public became aware of him being a child rapist.
Those pesky people, the public, they've just made it impossible. Yeah. They are hounding him.
Oh,
can't they just let the man do his job?
Poor guy. The Archbishop continued. He asked me to be relieved of his duties. It is the only solution against widespread mistrust and suspicion.
Yeah,
I accepted his removal. So that happened, and now there's this
they didn't defrock him instantly.
No.
Upon being he should have been.
Oh, yeah, no.
They have learned no lessons.
No.
They have learned 0 lessons.
So this current archbishop comes along and taps him for basically one of the top positions aside from his own in the archdiocese, one which apparently canon law specifically says that the chancellor must be of unimpaired reputation and above all suspicion, right? And in his defense, the archbishop says that he has taken the side of mercy in regards to Father Spina. Spina no longer exercises any pastoral responsibility other than that of celebrating the Eucharist alone or exceptionally for the faithful. Considering that we have had nothing to reproach this priest for over the past 30 years for acts likely to be the subject of legal proceedings, canonical or civil, I have therefore chosen to appoint him to this administrative function, out of an act of mercy, to this man of God, Dan.
Oh my God! Everyone is dumb. Everyone is stupid.
I would just like to make a point that an act of mercy toward this man would be giving him a little room that he gets to live in the back of some monastery somewhere for the rest of his life without any official responsibilities, because even that is still more than he deserves. So that is an act of mercy.
And every time he opens his mouth to opine on anything, they just
that would still be mercy, right? What you were doing is absurd.
Look, here's the thing. I feel like criminals, people who have done horrible things, may still have things to offer society. Sure. I don't want to discount that.
Right.
I think that people who have done awful things, especially if they have not continued in those behaviors.
Oh yeah.
I think there should be pathways to redemption, and that they can have things to offer society.
I absolutely agree.
But shut up.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, Catholic Church?
I'm glad that you brought that up because it reminded me about a part of this article that I didn't bring up yet.
Okay.
According to Le Monde, right, the French newspaper, right, psychiatric experts at Spina's trial, right, back in whenever that was, 2006, they testified that the priest had, quote, paranoid, narcissistic, and perverse dispositions.
Oh, God.
No sense of his own responsibility for the crimes, and was at risk of committing similar crimes in the future.
No.
So this is what the professionals are saying about this man, that he is an unrepentant child rapist.
Yeah. And a narcissist who is going to, that is a person who needs to be kept, like you say. I love the idea of, guess what you get to be? Monastic. You are now a monk. Let's put you up on in that monastery on the top of the hill that you can't come down from.
You're going to have a place to live. You're going to have food. You can wander around the grounds.
Yeah. You don't need a salary. We'll provide everything you need.
Your health care will be taken care of. The whole bit.
Oh, you want to go on vacation? Fine. No. I'm afraid not.
Oh, I was going to say, sure. We have a lovely little gravel pit over here.
We have another monastery that you can go and visit.
Exactly.
Please do nothing in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have to be locked up and in prison forever. But if they want to take care of this guy, if he's so important to them, then just don't let him starve. Don't let him be exposed to the elements. Take care of him.
Yeah.
Fine.
And that's what you feel like away you need to do. From anybody who is vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And that would be the right thing for them to do. But they don't do the right thing when it comes to their fellow priests and clergy that have abused children. They just can't figure this thing out. And
I feel like, especially these older generation priests and archbishops and whatever, they came up in a time when it was like it's the fucking mafia. Mm-hmm. We look out for our own. No matter what, blood is thicker than water. Jesus's blood is thicker than anything. Like, we look out for our own no matter what. And if they come after one of us, they come after all of us. And he did what? Nope, he didn't. I don't care. He did that to a child? Well, let's just move him over here, and hey, don't do that anymore. But if you do, I'll move you over to there.
Yeah.
And I don't like that mindset. You can't rattle this old guard out of that mindset. You can't.
Yeah, I know. It's
the most obvious thing in the world. It is like the solutions here are the most obvious thing in the world. It is so easy. Yeah. You're gone. You're just gone forever.
Why would they want the liability of having this person still around? If just on practical terms.
Yeah.
Nothing moral about how this person should be punished, right?
Right.
Just their own self-preservation.
We disassociate from you entirely forever.
Yeah.
How is that hard?
So easy.
It's so fucking easy. Like, it's sad because maybe it's your friend.
Sure. Oh, yeah. There's the personal side of it, but you can't protect somebody.
But you make that the policy so that it's never. So it's not about like, I'm doing this to my friend. It's just that's the policy. No exceptions ever. Yeah. End of story.
Yeah. Sorry, Henri, or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
You're going away now. You did this. My hands are tied.
Yeah. It's
unbelievable. Bye-bye.
Unbelievable.
I'll send you a Christmas card. Right?
But I will say the alternative is fair, which is I will appoint you a really high post. That's the other way to go, I suppose.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'll try to make you a priest again. Oh, they're raising a fuss about that? Well, okay. Let's just make you a really important person in our church.
Yeah.
That's the other way you could go. Okay. I'm going to take us to West Virginia, a place that we visited a while ago, because you'll recall this. So we did report on this back in 2022, sort of in the throes of COVID, and everything was going awfully. The U.S. government passed the American Rescue Plan Act, which was like $1.9 trillion. And it was just to sort of keep things going.
Yeah.
Because things were, it was a rough time.
Yeah.
And so they were just doling out money all over the place.
Right.
And one of the recipients of this money was West Virginia's Water Development Authority, which they got like $250 million.
Yeah.
Water development is very important. This was meant to be like, they're supposed to make sure that West Virginians have good, clean water.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah.
And so they announced that they were going to take that money, and quite a lot of it was going to go out as grants for anyone who, like nonprofits, government agencies, whatever, to build a water system, or like upgrade a sewage system, or just stormwater, whatever, all of that sort of thing.
Okay.
And
sounds
then
reasonable.
It became reported that, and this was just like last October, they released their list of grant recipients, and the largest one, by a lot, was the College of St. Joseph the Worker, which was a private Catholic trade school that teaches like plumbers and woodworkers.
Water, Dan. Plumbers.
Yeah.
There's a connection.
This was, I don't know if you remember this. This was at the time, before this grant, a tiny little thing that was in basically a storefront next to a Firestone tire center. Like this was not a college. This was a tiny little thing. And this was a huge influx for them. And earmarked within it was a bunch of stuff like, and I forgot to mention, this college was not in West Virginia. It was in Ohio, across the border from West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right there.
It was like so near.
It's federal money.
Yeah. So it went to this college, and they earmarked a bunch of it for advocacy activities, specifically to expand into bioethics. This is a fucking trade school. Bioethics. And to build a research facility called the Center for Common Good in order to, quote, support broadly life-affirming policy in West Virginia.
Okay.
They were going to use $1 million for that.
Okay.
And then also they were going to use over like $1.6 million to recruit West Virginia students. So basically, this was paying for a brain drain out of West Virginia.
Okay.
With the hope, I guess, that some of them might come back or whatever.
Well, that's wishful thinking, because I think when people probably get out of there,
when someone makes it out of West Virginia,
they're wiping that mud away from their eyes, and they're like, "What?"
That famous West Virginia goo that just adheres.
Although they did also just cross the border over into
rural
Ohio. So I'm not sure.
Probably a lateral move. Anyway, I don't know. I've never been to either of those parts of the country.
I've been to West Virginia.
Been to Ohio, but I've never been to that part of Ohio.
Yeah. That area, no.
Anyway, who sued? Someone sued them.
Good.
It was the American Humanist, the American Humanist Association.
Good. They deserved it.
With the help of the ACLU.
Great.
Sued earlier this year
Okay.
and basically just said, any constitution at all? Question mark? Like, what's happening? And the good news is that we have a bench ruling in this case.
Okay.
So we don't have the written ruling. That will take a little bit of time before that comes out. So the bench ruling basically says that no, basically it gives it gives the recipient of this grant and the grantor, I think, and the water district time, like 30 days, to come back and say why the hell this isn't a blatant violation of both West Virginia and the United States Constitution. Because the West Virginia Constitution actually is stricter about church-state separation, or rather more specific about it.
Okay.
So yeah, basically the judge just came back and said, okay, you tell me how on God's green earth this doesn't violate that. Yeah. And it's unlikely that they'll get to keep most of the money. They already gave them the money. So like this is bad, but they may have to yoink all or some of it back. It may not be all of it. This was $5 million, but like they may get to keep certain parts of it if they can say this, if they can, say, well, we're going to train plumbers to fix the water and blah, blah, blah. But they won't get to keep the stuff that was earmarked specifically for.
What about their Lexuses? Do they get to keep their Lexuses?
I mean, you can't take away a guy's car.
That's also against the West Virginia Constitution.
I'm pretty sure it says that in the Bible. All right. Well, if you would like to write into us about this or any of the things that we've talked about this week, please feel free to do so. We love to hear from you. A podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, we had some folks write into us and call into us, so let's dive into that. You'll recall, Frank, that last week you were shocked, I say, by one of my opinions.
I was. Yeah, I really was.
To do with North Korea and the sneaking in of information from the outside world. In the case of what you were of your story, it included the Bible, which is dumb.
That is dumb, but you made a really blanket statement about how the North Koreans should just be allowed to live in ignorance, essentially.
I just said, look, my opinion was, and it's not my opinion, I was exploring ideas. But the idea that I was exploring is that it is possible that if you're not going to get it to enough people that you're going to have a revolution, you're not going to get it to enough people that you're going to, you would have to get you would have to get enough that there's a groundswell. And I just don't think that balloons are going to ferry in information to enough people that you're going to make this happen.
Well, not when you say balloons like that. You're right. if you're that dismissive,
balloons, you'll balloon it in. It'll work. You'll have we can do it through balloons.
It doesn't matter how you pronounce the word, Dan. It's still just a balloon.
It's still just a balloon.
That's still going to float over the border.
Yeah.
And carry what it's carrying in.
Right.
In the hopes that somebody gets that little piece of data. Yes. And then they can spread it.
What do they do with it? Anyway.
They listen to pop music. Have you heard K-pop?
Yes,
Dan.
Yes, I have.
They get to listen to some K-pop.
God bless. All right. Well, here's what one of our, it's an unsigned email, but here's what one of our listeners said. Hey guys, was just listening to the latest episode where Dan mentioned it would be better to let North Koreans live in ignorance, and gotta say, I'm sure most of your listeners are on Frank's side of the argument, myself included. You said we'd need to address the systemic issues first, but considering that the only realistic options we have are either war or revolution, we can't really hope for revolution if everyone is disillusioned. So the only chance they have at any type of somewhat peaceful revolution is for them to be informed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, hope Dan sees the light. Okay.
Yeah, Dan. Well, yeah.
I mean, look, if I never see the light,
like Dan has seen
if I have the worst opinions on North Korea, it will have zero effect on North Korea. So don't worry if I don't see the light. Their position will remain unchanged.
Yeah, but
by my opinion,
it sounds like this is your opinion. You were just trying to like brush it off like, well, I was just sort of
I'm still
thinking
exploring,
out loud.
but I don't know. I don't know that I'm convinced that, 48 people receiving a little bit of information scattered throughout whatever villages or whatever is going to do anything.
48 people, Dan.
Okay. 400 people. How many balloons are there?
Where does a movement start, Dan?
Anyway. I don't think we'll settle this amongst ourselves.
Wow.
I remain unconvinced that is effective. Like if you could get.
Oh, okay. So is it the most effective way? Okay. So maybe this is where there's some disconnect in our conversation. You are critiquing their methodology, but it sounds like you're critiquing the motivation.
No. I'm not
right.
No, if you could get the information to enough people to create a critical mass that could actually get people foment a revolution, I say yes.
I don't know that you're going to foment one, but you can have people who are going to maybe not just mindlessly support the regime,
which gets them killed.
You can still go through the motions of supporting the regime, but as the regime's falling, right, you are now on the side of it continuing to fall, right? And because if North Korea destabilizes, right? We're really digging in here, but like if it destabilized, what you need are people who have some sense of there's a different way.
Agreed.
Right.
100% agreed.
And so
all I'm saying is that now's not that time.
What do you?
Well, I'm just saying
the time when it's happening, it's too late, right?
I'm saying if you're a villager, a single villager, you get this information, you could be killed for having it. You could be literally killed for having it. You're carrying it around in your head now.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with it.
K-pop. Yeah.
I think it's more complicated than you and our listener are making it, but I'm certain that our listener is correct that I'm still in the vast minority on that. We would have to have a 3-hour-long conversation to even understand where we're all at. So again, I assure you, my horrific opinions will not make any lives in Korea worse.
Oh, Dan, so you say.
So I say.
Yeah.
If I thought that North Koreans could get our show, maybe I'd feel different.
Well, it's got to be put on a thumb drive and ballooned over the border, Dan.
Somebody balloon TGIA to the Koreans and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll make a difference. All right. Oh, Lord. Well, we have a voicemail. It is, who's this voicemail from?
It's from a listener who, a while back we talked about the multiple church attendees. You brought it up as a story, and we've had a little bit of response of like people saying, oh yeah, my parents are Seventh-day Adventist or whatever, and they like to go to that and then go to a megachurch on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And we're completely baffled by this. And so we actually have
maybe that's because Mormon church was torture for 3 hours every week. So the thought of like adding to that is
Mormon church was already multiple church attendance.
It was
just unbelievable amount of church. Anyway, so this listener was at one point in his life a multiple church attender.
Oh,
and he has some perspective as to at least why he did it.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Hey, Frank and Dan. My name is Michael. I'm from Pennsylvania. I wanted to admit that I used to be one of those multiple church attenders. When I was in college, I was part of a Christian fellowship on campus, and most of my friends were in that group. And I was also Roman Catholic, so I would attend Catholic Mass on Sunday very early in the morning so that I could attend church at the very small local Baptist church next door with all of my friends. And then after that service at the Baptist church, they had a thing they called table talks, where the pastor would sort of talk with the students about one subject or another in the Bible and serve us lunch. So Sunday morning was kind of packed for me, but that's how I ended up being a multiple church attender. Free food. Isn't that always the way? Have a good one.
Free food is a powerful motivator.
It'll do it, won't it?
Oh man. Yeah. And look, as a kid, I get it. That makes sense.
A hungry college student?
Yeah.
Getting a free meal?
And camaraderie and all sorts of good stuff.
That makes sense. I'm still baffled by middle-aged people.
Yeah.
Just let's just go to another church.
You know what, honey? Can I just say, I love church. It's great. Not enough. Insufficient.
You know, like if you do like something, I mean, it does show they must really fucking like church.
Yeah.
Let's go to another church.
We are woefully under-churched.
Yeah.
Let's get out there. Let's see what else is going on.
That was awesome. Right? Like they're just like, church ends and they're like, oh
man,
that was
more.
Best. Let's who's got a 12:15? Is there a 12:15 we can get to?
Let's just pack Sunday. Let's just see how many we can get to.
So we're gonna go hit the Grace Baptist at 12:15, and then we're gonna go drive super quick over to the Seventh-day Adventists.
They're just,
and then
they've got a stack of singles that they're just like doling out like a strip club for all the when the plate gets passed around.
And that Mormon, they have one that starts at 4. The Mormons have one that starts at 4.
The Mormons have one whenever you want, but you don't. No one, I promise you, no one is going to Mormon church plus anything else. That is not a thing that is anyone is doing.
Yeah, because that's why Mormonism creates atheists, because we're just like, no more, we're done. No more. That was enough church.
Yeah. All right. Cousin Jason wrote in to say, hey, Frank and Dan, since the Korean War armistice was signed in 1953, the two Korean nations have developed different Korean languages. While the alphabet, Hangul, remains the same, the language of South Korean has been heavily influenced by the West. North Korea has restricted its language for purity. While it is influenced by China and modern Chinese, the language of North Korea is Orwellian. Words, concepts, and facts have been removed. In addition to endangering someone and their family for possessing the Bible, the odds are slim that a North Korean would be able to fully understand a Bible originally translated from Portuguese and or Spanish, translated for a South Korean audience. That may be the case. I will bolster that case further by saying that fucking nobody understands the Bible. Like, if you put the Bible in the hands of someone with zero context for it, you don't understand it. Like, you can kind of get that there's a story happening, but like, what good does that, like, no one's convinced of a story that, like, if you have no context for it,
right,
you're not going to believe that that God flooded the entire earth and there were just, a handful of people and all of the animals on a boat.
Yeah.
It's entirely unconvincing. And even Christians who read the Bible, like, I do a whole other podcast that basically proves that Christians who read the Bible, who aren't like devoted to it on PhD study levels, don't fucking know what they're reading either. Nobody understands that shit. So yeah, you put it in a language that they barely have a grasp on, or that has changed dramatically, and they're going to continue not to understand. I don't know how true that is about North Korean and South Korean language differences.
Yeah.
I'm just taking Cousin Jason's word for it. But yeah, I mean, that book is going to be nonsense to them.
Yeah.
Without any context. Like, that's the reason that you need a missionary there, is because the missionary will tell them, oh no, what our theology is all of this stuff. And this book is just like, and it contains moments of theological stuff that need explication because it disagrees with itself 90% of the time.
Right.
So,
well, there you have it, Dan.
Yeah, there you go. Do we have anyone to thank?
We do, Dan. We have a new patron over on Patreon. A new elder, in fact, by the name Kathy.
Oh, Kathy the elder. I love it.
Kathy is, one our newest elder and recipient of the Melchizedek priesthood.
Ooh. Yeah, you got the good magic powers. You
leveled up.
There, Kathy. You leveled up.
If you'd like to join Kathy, you can get your own Mormon priest. What is it, Mormon priesthood? It's Mormon priesthood. Are we handing out the Mormon priesthood?
Yeah.
You can get your own office in our fake and their fake Mormon priesthood.
Yeah. And all the fake magic powers that are their attendants
that we give.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/donate. And there's some options there. There's a link to go over to PayPal. There's a link to go to Patreon. And you can join and help us out and keep the show going. As always, Dan, we have our top donor to thank, our Lord and Savior, Alexandra!
Woo! Love it. Thanks so much, everybody. More show coming up. Well, Frank, listen, our federal government is entirely broken and is breaking.
Please don't remind me.
It's going worse than global warming. It's breaking up faster than the Arctic glaciers. So.
Yeah, which is only also then going to accelerate global warming. So.
Yeah.
It's a
lovely snowball effect
and then
that we're having.
It's all feeds on itself.
Right.
And this, So anyway, the latest bad thing though, Dan.
Yeah.
Was the IRS making a decision that basically they say that there's this thing called the Johnson Amendment. They're not going to deal with it anymore, right?
We're not going to do all the laws anymore.
They really weren't doing it already, but now they've officially said that they're carving out a space for churches and other sort of religious nonprofits to be able to endorse candidates and whatnot.
Right. The Johnson Amendment was very clear that a tax-exempt organization anywhere in the country, and that's not just religions, that's any tax-exempt organization.
Yeah.
As a condition of not paying taxes,
right,
could not participate in the discussion about politics.
Right.
In the sense that, I mean, they could. There was all sorts of ways that they could talk about politics.
Well,
but they couldn't endorse specific candidates.
Exactly.
And campaign on behalf of those candidates.
Exactly.
Anything like that.
Right. And so for the non-religious ones, that's still the case.
Right.
This is just a carve out for churches and religious nonprofits. And so now they can just do whatever the fuck they want. And so on the surface, it sounds like, oh, well, it's just going to continue to be the status quo because the IRS already was not enforcing this.
That's right? I mean, when you approached me with this as the idea for our segment, I was like, it feels like business as usual because I think they've actually taken action on this once.
Right.
May have been more than once, but there have been a group of pastors who every 4 years or every election year, they have purposefully videotaped themselves flouting this law, going against this law, and they send it to the IRS as a fuck you, and I dare you to take action on this.
Yeah.
And they never have.
Right. But with, and they knew that the IRS wasn't going to really take action, right? But there's still a threat.
Yeah.
There's still this rule that you don't want to be on the wrong side of because theoretically it could be enforced, right? But now they've said if we happen
to get a president that had the balls to actually enforce the laws of the United States of America, they could get in trouble.
The IRS, by never really saying that they weren't going to, left it a gray area. And a lot of organizations a lot of churches weren't going to just go, headlong into this gray area.
Right.
Because there was some risk. There was theoretical risk, and it was enough just to keep most everybody in line. So I think that this is actually by them saying that they're not going to enforce, now it's going to be absolute floodgates of money flowing into churches so that churches alter that they now in essence are going to be political endorsement and promotion of candidate little machines for dark money.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
This is a wholesale corruption of American churches. I don't think that they could possibly imagine what is to come. Right?
Absolutely not.
These churches, there are going to be some of them that are open to the highest bidder. Right.
Oh,
corrupt
absolutely.
Pastors who they don't care. Right. They just want the money.
Joel Osteen is going to literally, he has such big reach.
Yeah.
That, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
If you think that these big pastors are not going to get millions of dollars in donations to their church.
Right.
Which are just deductible donations. Right.
/ bribes.
Right. Yeah. And it's a way for, I want to donate because there is a limit on, it's not a real limit anymore, but there's a limit on how much an individual can donate to a campaign.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's no limit on how much an individual can donate to Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
And then Joel Osteen can start saying you give him, he doesn't have to disclose anything about his relationship with the donor or anything, or how much, whether the donor slipped him a script and says, you have to read this verbatim from the pulpit X number of times, or whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
There's nothing preventing this.
This is a new area for political campaigns to market themselves through.
Yeah.
And
I will say,
do not kid yourself that there's not going to be obscene amounts of money just flowing around.
Yeah. And one of the things that we should be careful of is not to portray this as just the right wing that will be doing this.
Oh, no.
Because the left will be doing it pretty hard too.
Absolutely.
One of the main groups of churches that have been going against the Johnson Amendment are the black churches in the United States.
Yeah.
And the black churches are, predominantly Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do the same shit.
Yeah.
But corruption's corruption. I don't care which direction it's going. I don't care who they're supporting. Yeah. It's fucking corrupt.
Yeah. And
it means that the churches will have exactly the kind of power that the founding fathers, and fuck the founding fathers. I don't give a fuck what they wanted. I want our country now to learn the lessons that have happened in the intervening couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And like do better.
Yeah.
The whole point is we learn and we do better and we continue to improve. And this is such an enormous backslide.
Yeah.
And such an enormous problem.
Yeah.
That I don't think people, I haven't seen any of the major reporting on this discussing at all how big a deal this will be. This is just now the big funnel for political dark money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. I saw it. The thing that got me thinking about this was basically one sentence in one article that I read about it. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then it was just, well, if that, then this, right? Yeah. And of course, this is the direction that it's going to go.
Yeah.
Of course, this is another absolute disaster for American democracy. Like, this is a terrible turn of events because like there are theoretically some limitations as to the relationship that dark money organizations can have with the actual candidate, right? That doesn't exist here, right?
You're right.
Like you said, the campaign will be handing the pastor talking points, right?
Yeah.
This is what we want you to say about our great candidate over here. Okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa. The communication will be complete. They will be in bed with each other, and it is fucking sickening.
And the other thing is that, like,
tax deductible.
Yeah.
We're now the American public is now what do you call it? Underwriting or whatever the political campaigns. Right?
Well, and the other thing is that, like,
subsidizing.
There are other venues that are already kind of like this. You know what I mean? Like, I am absolutely certain that Joe Rogan is for sale to whatever highest bidder. Like,
sure.
The reason that he ended up endorsing Trump was not because he had some brilliant change of heart. It was because someone was paying him to do so. And there's nothing stopping that.
Yeah.
You can't stop that. But even Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan is a cult leader. Make no mistake. He is a cult leader.
Sure.
But even Joe Rogan doesn't have the position of trust and authority,
right, that
a church leader has over his congregation.
Yeah. The ability to make voting the wrong way a sin.
Right. Yeah. Punishable.
Yeah.
The way the ability to make it something that that then is, rather than you go home and you're like, well, I disagree with that. If you say I disagree with Joe Rogan, other people can be like, you're an idiot, but they can't say, oh my God, you're going to hell.
Right.
It's a different story. It's a very, and like, yeah, it's, I mean, that's part of why we want to maybe gently move the country away from religion in general, because it just has too much power over people who need to be thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
But there you go. And the other thing is that, like, there are plenty of churches and religious figures who are pro Johnson Amendment, who don't think that churches should be engaged in this.
Right.
But when the money starts flowing, we'll see how they feel. We'll see if they start changing their tune. I wouldn't be surprised. Anywho, that's what's fun and happening in our world. I hope that you're all feeling just tickety-boo about everything.
Tickety-boo?
Yeah, why not? Get you know what? Just go out and touch grass, smell some flowers. The world's not coming to an end. It feels gross, though. It does feel gross.
Yeah.
If you would like to write in to us and tell us how it's better or even worse than we are making it sound, feel free to do so. It's podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, to support the show, go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Thanks so much for all y'all for tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.